KROQ Klein Alley Show. Big announcement after your ADD news. It will make your life better. Be ready to call when you hear the announcement. 800-520-1067 are the numbers to join the show. And now your news.
Grab your Adderall. No, seriously, grab it. The shortage is real. It's time for ADD news. By the way, if you need any, I know a guy.
All right, today is the day for Apple to announce some new and hopefully exciting things to keep people interested and invested in their products. And today is supposed to be a game changer for them because they're announcing their new line of AI products. And of course, like every Apple announcement, there's going to be rumors as to what they're actually releasing, and we'll have to see later today what they actually release. But today at the Worldwide Developers Conference, they're going to debut Apple Intelligence, which will be, for the most part, an AI software update for your iPhone, for an iPad, MacBook, and it will have things like generative photo editing and obviously smarter Siri and all that kind of stuff. But there's also rumors about a new home robot, new glasses that are AI intelligence, and also AirPods that have cameras built into them and things like that. So we'll see what they actually come out with.
They actually have a leaked, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but this is what they say that it's the Apple Intelligence is going to sound like.
Well, I'm like,
that's part of one of the many sounds. So I don't know. I don't have good versions of it, but Omar's got more. But this is the Apple. The intelligence is that we are so dumb. Once again, they were geniuses from the very beginning. Even the people that were pulling lint out of our iPhones for years were, quote, geniuses. They were way ahead of the intelligence bandwagon. There it is. That's the sound of Apple Intelligence.
Siri that.
That's good stuff right
there. But the thing is, one of the other parts that I heard was that you're not going to be able to install this software update on your phone unless you have an iPhone 15 Pro or later. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not that many people.
That's the most recent one.
That's the most recent one.
Right. Well, that's where they get you.
So it's kind of annoying because I always thought that's, you're grandfathered into a software update. If you have an Apple, if you have an iPhone, then that's the perk you get. But not now because AI is getting too cool. So it's going to push everybody to get the new iPhone so that they can get the new AI stuff.
I don't want to sound like a dummy, but what is the benefit of putting cameras inside of your AirPods so you can see the insides of your ears?
No, I don't think they're going to be pointed to the inside of your ears.
Okay. I don't work at Apple.
You are very innovative, though.
So Allie, so they're pointed. So
the Worldwide Dum Dum Conference starts now.
Hold on. So the cameras are pointed to the outside of the ears. Still, what's the benefit of that? You're looking at what's happening.
I don't know where they're at, Klein, but it's probably facing forward so that you can take a picture of something in front of your face.
Wait a minute. So the cameras on the AirPods are going to do the exact same things your eyeballs do?
Well, your eyeballs can't take pictures. Duh.
Whatever. I mean,
these are all rumors. I don't know what actually is going to come out.
Either I'm too dumb to understand why we need it, or it's dumb and I'm not.
Well, it's the same reason they're like, let's put they just want to put a camera on everything because everyone loves taking pictures of stuff.
There have been cool things. Like I know people put cameras on their dash and stuff because in case, we get in a car accident, they can be like, here, Judge, here's the proof that it wasn't my fault.
Right. Maybe it's always recording.
Yeah,
so
but you do get potentially there are
robbed,
cool things that happen. Yeah, it's like everyone's got the body cam on them. That, I guess, is interesting.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about another scandal that has taken place over the last week. And this started in the Sphere at a fish show when the fish was there doing their residency. A guy by the name of Acid Farts, he posted a video from the fish show in Vegas, and he said this is officially the first bong rip in the Sphere. And since then, he has been banned from the Sphere, and now there's an update to the story. Here's just the beginning of how it all played out.
User Acid Farts posted this video on 420. First bong hit to ever be ripped in Sphere Vegas.
Oh, wow.
Somebody called Guinness World Records. So in response to this...
Okay, so then they sent him a letter. He posted it. They sent him a letter saying, hey, this goes against our conduct policy, and you've been banned. And now here's his response.
Acid Farts started a company, a charity T-shirt brand that reads, free acid farts, no regrets.
I'm with this guy.
And he said all of the proceeds are going to go to some organization I don't even know. But, I mean... what a great name that has now become a household name because of what he did at the Sphere.
I don't know if Acid Farts is a household name just yet.
I think when a newscaster is saying...
User Acid Farts posted this video on 420.
Then it becomes a household name.
So he was banned from the Sphere And now
he's been unbanned.
Unbanned
because
from the
of
sphere.
because of his response and the fact that he started the company and everybody was rallying around him and he had the T-shirts and everything and people were getting behind it. So now they've unbanned him.
If his name was just like Todd, would anyone care? Like, in all seriousness, like people rallied behind the guy because his name is Acid Farts.
Oh yeah.
And how does he know he was the first guy to rip a, quote, bong hit in the sphere? I'm sure you don't think during any of
he's the first person to post about it.
First person to post, but you don't think anyone was, I guess, I mean, by the way, and who's traveling with a bong? It's like the least effective way to smoke weed when you're out and about. I mean, there's so many other ways
I do feel sad that the bong is kind of going away. I think a lot of people are just doing bong hits like at home, but
Of course. Well, why would you bring that with you? Spill that bong water all over yourself? It's an absolute disgusting
mess.
mess.
But I always thought, I mainly do edibles now, but I always thought a bong hit was the best. Especially if you put a little ice in it. Oh, it's got that nice, cool air going into your lungs.
What are the odds that Rip Nasty and Acid Farts have something?
Agree on something.
I feel like that's not the only thing you guys probably agree on.
All right, and then we're headed for a new shortage. I don't know who cares about this, but beware of the orange juice crisis this summer. They believe that disease and bad weather is going to cause a global shortage in orange juice. And I don't know who the hell drinks orange juice every morning anymore. I know that the egg crisis was the last big crisis that we had. And still, at some places, it's like $12.99 for a thing of eggs. But orange juice, they said, is the next thing that's going to be out on the shelves.
I think the only time people get orange juice is when they're at a hotel that has orange juice, and you think to yourself, "Man, this is probably $5 a cup. I should drink a few of these."
Totally. And if I had to put that little button,
you push it.
Yeah, I push that little
Shoots
button.
out?
Yeah,
But that's not the good stuff. I mean, that stuff's all concentrated. You want the real fresh squeeze one. Well, they'll try to bang you out. I want to say it's like maybe
like $10 for a thing.
Yeah,
of
I think it could be
juice.
more
At those
expensive.
fancy
Yeah, it could be more expensive than like 1942 tequila. I feel like
the only time I've drank orange juice recently is in a mimosa.
Klein, Alley, Show! Mornings on KROQ.
106.7 KROQ.
KROQ, Klein Alley Show. Monday morning, we'll get to your ADD news in a moment. Then we will give you some tickets to see David Cross, Bellwether, on September 21st. Plus, Imagine Dragons, a fourth show added to the Hollywood Bowl, and a fifth show added right here at KROQ in the helpful Honda sound space. We will get you into both of those shows coming up later this morning and all day here at KROQ. But first, what's going on in the world?
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News. Oh, look, a squirrel. Aren't you a cutie patootie? Oh, God! Ouch!
So there's a new growing problem that has not been a problem since the 70s and 80s. And Klein, weed has come a long way in the last decade. It has now surpassed alcohol in terms of daily use. But there's another drug that is making a comeback, and it has been for a while. Klein, you and I did them recently. Mushrooms. Mushrooms are becoming more and more popular, and as a result, there are more and more people that are calling 911 because they don't know how to handle their mushrooms.
All new tonight, an increase in 911 calls for people suffering after taking hallucinogenic mushrooms. In other words, bad trips. Some had to be airlifted from trails. Our chief investigative reporter, Lynn Kawano, has tonight's top story.
That's wild. I know that exact person. I mean, not that person particularly in the story, but the idea of you want to go on a hike? And someone's like, not really. Like, what if we take a handful of mushrooms and go on a hike?
And you're like, I'll hike the
right.
crap out of that trail. That sounds great.
That sounds awesome. And then all of a sudden they kick in. You're like, I think the trees are all trying to eat me.
And I also am super lost. And I don't know how to get back to my car.
And also, sometimes you come to that realization that hiking sucks, like on a deeper level. And you're like, man, now I'm here, and I get it.
And those trees have spiders all over them, and they're going to eat me.
That would really freak me out, maybe even more than having a bad trip on a nature trail. Would be the concept of one of those choppers landing. You get one of those baskets.
You're like, they're going to take me away.
I mean, that's got to be freaky as anything.
Emergency workers are warning there have been a series of calls relating to mushroom ingestion.
Severe nausea and vomiting, almost like a food poisoning. Severe hallucinations where people are actually fearful. And at least 2 or 3 of these events happened where people were in the forest. They'd gone on hikes and used the mushrooms and then started hallucinating.
Days of heavy rain in May resulted in wild mushrooms growing. It could be tempting people to try them, but experts warn against it.
Isn't that nuts?
So, they're just grabbing their own mushrooms.
There's like mushroom chocolates and all that other stuff, right? So it's like a lot more readily available to us, but random wild mushrooms in the forest is becoming a thing where it's like maybe you were on a trail and you're like, whoa, a random mushroom, and you just eat it and then you start tripping balls and you don't know what to do?
You got to get the right mushrooms. There's only certain time. I mean, all mushrooms.
I will eat the mushroom that will kill me. Like, I feel like there are way too many things that if you eat them, they'll kill you when you're on a trail actually in the wilderness.
Yeah, I don't think it's totally different. I mean, you're talking about two completely different things. The mushrooms that you just find randomly growing in the forest, I don't even think a lot of those have the right hallucinogenic powers.
Yeah, most of them don't.
Man, you'll just get the sick feelings.
Jake, you probably know about like foraging and crap,
The good
right?
mushrooms are the ones that grow in cow turds. Those are the good ones. I'm serious, right, Jake? Aren't those
totally,
those are the ones you want?
Jake, are you being
That's why they say it's good S.
It's good ass. I'm serious. The
Really?
good mushrooms. Maybe they've come up with. There's been an advancement. When we used to get mushrooms back in the day, the guy would go get them because they would grow off of cow turds. Those were the good ones. Those are the ones.
I think that's the theory of why cows were as looked at as deities or as holy figures because their poop would grow mushrooms and you would eat them and you trip out like this cow is God.
Whoa, how do I make my poop grow mushrooms?
I mean, you used to be cow-like. So you had that going for you, but now you've lost all this weight. So
yeah, I know.
Unfortunately, it's probably not going to work.
Is your car spying on you? And if so, is your car going to narc on you? This is a growing conversation because our cars are getting smarter and more connected. Now they can tell how hard we're braking, how often we're going over the speed limit. Remember, we talked about how your car can report on your speeding to some kind of a little black box system that then automatically give you a ticket.
Yep.
It can also determine your mood because it can tell how hard you're gripping the steering wheel and if you're stressed or maybe in a state where you shouldn't be driving. And now they can also potentially, and I don't know if this is true, but some of the automakers are hinting that they know if you have had sex in your car. Where, your car is a place where a lot of people do things that they can't do in their homes or at work or in other places. It's this kind of wasteland where you're like, well, if I can be a weird, disgusting human or if I'm going to just go take a bong rip, I'm going to do it in my car because your car is a safe space for you.
Or you're supposed to be on a, quote, diet, but you decide to go ahead and throw down a couple double-doubles in your car.
Dude, how many secrets are inside of our cars?
Constantly.
And now your car can tell because of the rocking of the cabin whether or not you're having sex in your car, and then what is it going to do with that information?
Well, the reason that they all started, it was supposed to be for emergency response, right? Or if you got into some sort of an accident and then the car was upside down and you weren't
but why then are you tracking if I'm having sex in the car?
Well, they're tracking everything because they want all the information because information they can start selling, and they want to be able to tell every single person this is what drivers are doing and this is what drivers of this type of car are doing. So they are going to monitor it all. But yeah, it does suck to know that if you're getting laid, although to be honest, if I'm getting laid anytime, anywhere, I'd love everyone to know.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of myself.
Or if you're a car maker, wouldn't you like to know that your type of car is the one that people are having sex in the most?
Well, it would be a great, if you're a car maker that hasn't had any good, PR lately, like a Zuzu or something.
You're like if you're going to F in this.
Yeah, you should at least be like, we've created the car with the most comfortable backseat for effing.
I feel like that's a great marketing tool, absolutely.
Look into it, at least. It's not going to hurt. We get into a brand new hour of the show. We'll do it after Incubus. We got some tickets for you right out of the gate, so you can go see David Cross telling jokes, Bellwether, September 21st. If you want in on that show, we'll take caller 20 at 800-520-1067. And then we'll get you some Imagine Dragon tickets coming up in about 1 hour. Thanks for eavesdropping in on our radio show, you perverts.
Yeah. When you're not being reported by your neighbors, you can check out the podcast or the live show on KROQ or wherever you get your podcasts.
That's right, which apparently is a lot of places. Find Klein Alley's show and listen to this show in its entirety. Plus, if you download and subscribe, we will save a puppy from being executed.
Oh my God, there's puppies being executed?
Oh, there goes another one.
Oh, those are high stakes.